First of all, brother, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm especially glad because now my sons might actually watch my show.
Whatever it takes, right?
Exactly. I can't tell you how much I admire you. You are somebody who was able to hold on to your dream to be great when not everybody believed in that dream. And then also as a dad, as a father, you're like at a different level, and I think you just represent a lot of hope. And right now, people don't have a lot of hope. We just had this shooting recently. How does it strike you when you cut on the television, you're trying to live a good life, and you see these kind of tragedies, people being shot? How did that land for you when you saw that?
It's tough to kind of digest. Obviously, like you said, as a parent, thinking about the world that you want your kids to grow up in, and trying to protect them at all costs, that hits home. And you obviously feel for the families that were affected, and I think there's a lot that's been said about change that needs to happen, and hopefully that conversation actually goes somewhere, and we actually make an impact for that next generation to hopefully have a better world to live in. But for me, like you said, my job as a parent with my wife, hopefully we have that presence with our daughters, and to lay that foundation so that they can spread positivity and love in the world as they grow older.
Well, Riley's doing that already. she's like almost as famous as you are.
She is. She's just like my wife was when she was a girl. She knows how to fill a room, and something about her, just when she walks in, like everybody just smiles and is having a good time, and feels that connection with her.
You got 2 kids. You're almost evenly matched.
Yeah.
And you have a 3rd baby coming. You're going to be outnumbered. Talk to us about this new baby on the way, this new courage.
It's exciting. Like you said, we have a 5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and hopefully a healthy baby coming in July. So
it's going to be rough.
It's going to be. Me and my wife are talking about playing the parent joke, playing zone defense.
You can't go man-man anymore. In this sort of Me Too moment, you're surrounded. You got 2 daughters. And your wife is dope. She's like an actor, cover model. She's an entrepreneur. What do men need to learn now to be able to be the kind of husbands, the kind of partners, the kind of dads of these amazing women today?
I think just the appreciation of their value across the board. My wife is amazingly talented. She's smart. She's confident. She keeps me in check. She makes me better every single day.
How?
She gives me the right perspective about life, and she challenges me. I got a lot of potential to have a lot of yes people around, and to kind of float through life. Nobody really giving me those words of wisdom that I need to hear.
How does she bring it to you? Is she like?
Oh, straight up, she's pretty. She's
ruthless.
Yeah, she is, and I appreciate about her. I appreciate that about her for sure.
Yeah, that's great. You said you're on this platform for a reason. Talk more about that. You have a deep faith. What does your faith tell you about why you have this platform?
It's not about me. It's not about shining light on myself and saying, look at me, look how great I am and whatnot. There's something bigger, and as long as I keep that as my motivation, that's why I work so hard, that's why I do what I do. I feel like I can actually make some change, I guess, and leave the people that laid eyes on me on the court, in the locker room, and in daily life, in a better place because of what I'm able to do.
This is weird though, man. You are in a league that is famous for trash talking, for the braggadocious stand, I am the,
Yeah.
And frankly, we have some of that in the White House. There's a leadership model in the White House that is very braggadocious, that's very put down the other person. You're a world-class leader. Why does your leadership model work?
I think it's just being authentic. Like, you're able to relate to a lot of different people because you appreciate what they bring to the table. For me, there's 15 other guys on my team, and we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different stories of how we got to the NBA. But for me as a leader, I value what each person is and what each person brings to the table. And I think that's something that the White House could maybe I think, change a little bit and kind of adopt. It's just that everybody has a reason that they're here, has a value, has a worth, and to celebrate that. And I think that's important. And that's what we do in our team, and I think that's why we've bonded and connected, and I think that's why we'll continue to grow.
It's obvious when you're out there, you're making everybody around you better, you're excited about other people's success. It's a really beautiful thing, and yet you got in this conflict with the president. The president of the United States tweeted about you. How did that feel?
It was surreal at the beginning. For a lot of different reasons. I think going into that particular day, it was right before our training camp started, and obviously there's a lot of talk about after we won the championship last year, if we go to the White House or not. And us as a team, we had a process about how we come to that decision. Obviously guys had different ideas or beliefs, and we're going to have a meeting that day to talk about it as a group. Because it's not just about Stephen Curry going to the White House or the Warriors going, and we wanted to make that decision as a group because we won the championship as a group. And we know what the honor is of going, to the White House. And so, before we even had an opportunity, obviously I voiced, my side of the argument.
I don't think I should. I don't want to go. That's really.
He kind of, took that power away from us and didn't allow us to have that process to come to a decision as a group, and that's
the president. After you suggested that you might not want to go, because
he withdrew the invitation.
Said, invitation withdrawn on a tweet.
Yeah, and obviously I think that was a rallying point, not just for our team, but for the entire NBA and for the sports world in general. I think there was so much support from all type of NBA players, from fans, kind of just backing us and understanding that. Yes, going to the White House is definitely a huge honor. We've been before when President Obama was there, but if it's more, if you're not going to celebrate, the collective and the majority of Americans that live in this country and that watch us play, and the fact that sports rallies, all these different types of people, these different types of backgrounds together to celebrate a game, and that's why we're going to the White House to celebrate that accomplishment. Then I didn't want to go. And I think we could definitely use our time better when we go to D.C. During the season.
So you're going to D.C., not going to the White House. What are you going to do when you get to D.C.?
We're going to reach out to the youth there in the community and celebrate, Black history.
Beautiful.
So obviously it's in February, and so that's what this month is about, and to hopefully present a new experience for some youth that are in the D.C. area that might not have that opportunity otherwise. And so we're going to have a direct impact on hopefully the next generation while we're there.
That's really positive. I think people forget D.C. is not just the senators and stuff. You got communities that have been there for decades, that are struggling, that need help, that need inspiration. One of the things that happened in that whole conflict, you're not the trash talker. When they said, the guy from Under Armour said, Trump is an asset, and you said, yeah, if you drop off the each. Now, for a non-trash talker, that was a trash talking.
That was a good one. But it was more so just, an opportunity to have a little wittiness with it.
Yeah.
But hopefully drive home the message that we weren't rolling with that.
You're not rolling with that. But now your mama, she said.
Exactly.
Your mama said that's a little bit too close to cussing, son.
Yeah, I guess you call it a little out of character, but she was quick to call me out. And like I said, I got strong women around me all the way around, so I can't stray too far.
Is there a danger? I mean, because it wasn't just you. LeBron James called the president a bum. I mean, it was a pile on. But is there a danger that his rhetoric starts to pull all of us down?
I think that's what we were trying to guard against, and I think that's what the positive that came out of that was. The words that he was using and the kind of rhetoric that he was using was trying to divide and be divisive and create tension in our society. I think it's done the opposite. I think it's revealed a lot of things that have been kind of laying in the weeds for a long time and exposed them, but I think also it's rallied, change and more so for us as athletes that have our platform, it's about in any way that we can continue that conversation. Obviously I don't have all the answers, but as long as these conversations are staying front and center, we're doing our job, and that's what I feel most proud about.